morning, everyone. It's Elizabeth Off Grid, and this week's challenge, it might be a little bit more than a week, is to clean out the 10 by 10 100% so I can get rid of that storage room. I'm very close, and I will show you where I'm at. It is the last week of the month, but there's a couple more days, so it might be a week or it might be a week plus a couple days, and technically I have the end of the month, but I am going to just have one storage room after the end of this month because I'm going to finish cleaning this out. I'm going to work on it every day. Today is going to be working on keepsake stuff. I will probably be leaving the electronic stuff for last because I'm dreading it the most, which is really not the way you should do it. Really, you should do the thing you dread the most first, but I have to be able to get myself to do these things, you know? So that's the idea, is to do that. As you can see, it is overcast and raining, which is glorious because it won't be too hot in there. That's one of the reasons I've been putting this off, is to, when it is supposed to be climate controlled in there, but the truth is that when it is 90 degrees outside, it is like a stagnant oven in there, and it is terrible, and I can't stand it. So now it is rainy and overcast, which is absolutely lovely, which means it will be nice in there. My plan is really that every morning, that's the first thing I'm gonna do. So I'm not the very first thing. I mean, first I get up, I go to Planet Fitness, I go to the bathroom, I work out, I take a shower because I'm still doing my workout things, still doing that. Then I sit in the car and I eat my breakfast. I have my bars and I'm drinking my iced tea. And then I go and work on the storage unit. The storage unit doesn't have a bathroom or anything in there. So what I will most likely do is work on the stuff for a while, go to somewhere to the bathroom, get something to eat, come back and work on it. Obviously, I still need to do everything else in life. I still have work to do and all those things. But this week or until the end of the month, this is the number one priority, is cleaning out that storage unit. Okay. So here we are at the storage unit. I'm going to have 8 days, I think it is, to completely clean this out. You might be like, there's not that much stuff. Oh yes, but I have to go through all the stuff. All right. So the stuff for my son, I already did. It's ready to go. Then right now I'm going through all this stuff, which are keepsakes, like from my whole life, childhood, high school, college, and since then. Then I have a bunch of, over here, computers, every laptop I've ever owned. That all has to be processed. So right now, the thing that I'm working on, hopefully today and tomorrow, is going through all my keepsakes and get all that stuff down to just these bins. So you see I have these plastic bins. So I want to have everything narrowed down to those plastic bins. And I have some, other miscellaneous things, but that's the idea, is to get all that stuff done. And then Wednesday, Thursday, start doing work on all the electronics, getting stuff cleared out, figuring out what I'm going to do, take it into electronics recycling, etc. I may have hard drives that need to be pulled out and shredded. I don't want to have to spend the money on that if I don't have to. If I can actually turn it on and just wipe it. So we'll see if I'm able to do that, but that's where we are. So what I'm realizing is that I've actually gone through almost all of this. I have one more box to actually go through. The problem is I still have too much stuff. Yeah. So first I'm going to go through this box and just pull out a selection of things to keep. And then pack up all the stuff that is going to get thrown away or given to charity or whatever. And then I'm going to have to, I think I need to reorganize it. So like, pictures are all together and physical things are all together and papers are all together, something like that. Especially pulling out the pictures. I think that's one of the big things. But yeah, I didn't appreciate the fact of how much I've actually already gone through, and the fact that I wasn't aggressive enough in my decision making. So, big pile of stuff to get rid of. It's progress. So I love Niagara Falls. That was my summer vacation when I was this age. When I was in 3rd grade, I wrote "I love you" to the teacher on the top of my papers. So cute. So one problem with working on the 10 by 10 is it being in that space really does set off migraines for me. So I took a swimmer trip down about almost 3 hours ago, and it worked. So it takes away the pain and the migraine symptoms for the most part, but actually gives me other symptoms that I do this because of the swimmer trip down, which is I'm stupid. Like I can't make my brain work right, and I just feel weird. Like my skin feels strange and I feel kind of like my brain is slow, you know, I haven't driven, and I felt kind of queasy. So I actually took it when I was outside Panera Bread because I had gotten coffee and I was just sitting in my car. The coffee I think also helped too. So I ended up getting soup and a sandwich and the bread, and that was like the best thing for me to eat so my stomach doesn't bother me. But oh my goodness, like it's one of those things where the medicine has side effects, so you have to pick, do I want the problem or the side effects? The side effects are better than the problem because a migraine lasts like 2, 3, 4 days. It is much better to have side effects for 2, 3, 4 hours than a migraine for 2, 3, 4 days. But it's not good. When I first got here, there was someone right over there, so I couldn't record. So anyway, today is the day 2. I didn't come back yesterday because I had a migraine. So today, I first took all the garbage and just put it over there in the corner so it's out of the way. Now what I'm gonna be doing is going through the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pile and a couple other boxes. The second time, I've gone through it once and got rid of a ton of stuff, but it's still way too much stuff. Still way too much stuff. So what I'm going to do is put things in categories, all the pictures together, all the papers together, all the like things together, you know, and I'm hoping that that will help me figure out what to get rid of, because especially with the things. So pictures, I'm going to keep all the pictures. Eventually I'll go through and make a photo album, but I'm not doing that right now, but they don't take up, pictures actually don't take up that much space when it comes down to it. Papers, I'll probably not get rid of any more papers than I already have, because I actually was fairly hardcore with that. The thing is more like the stuff, you know. So I have stuff like this mug. Am I actually going to use this mug? You know what I mean? That's the kind of things that I'm talking about. I have all the plaques and stuff that I ever got when I was in school. Some of these I do want to keep because I actually would put them in like a little cabinet. I think it would be kind of cute and neat. Top student in honors chemistry, I think actually I would keep because I do. But there are other things I got that I actually have no memory of. So maybe it's actually not important to me if I actually don't remember it, right? So that's what I mean is I'm going to go through all that kind of stuff and really do it from the perspective of what would I keep and display, you know, in some future curio cabinet, some future bookshelves, whatever. What would actually go in there versus what's going to just sit in the box forever, and there's no point in keeping something if they're going to sit in a box. I think the hardest thing of all this stuff is stuff like my Letterwoman's jacket. Oh, I like it so much. I was so proud of it, but am I going to display it or keep it anywhere? I have to think about that. I could just pull off the letter and keep that, because I have both a academic letter as well as an athletic letter. That is kind of cool and was a big deal to me at the time. So right now it's just putting things into categories. Very important when you're doing this kind of stuff. You know, this is a very KonMari kind of idea, is that you first put things into categories before you get rid of stuff. Okay, here's all the stuff. We have things, books. This is photos and photos albums. These are all papers. And then here's some more photo albums too, including my wedding photos. So now that I have these all the photos, I'm going to keep all the photos, but I am going to take stuff out of frames because except for, I might actually keep this photo of my sister and I because it's actually a nice frame. But anyway, most of the stuff I'm going to take out. But I'm going to keep all that, so that's actually a fair amount. The stuff, actually, I think the big thing I need to go through is these papers. I can cut that down by a lot. But it's actually, now that I have it all piled up, it's actually not too bad. And especially considering that this huge section, I mean, almost half of this is photos. That actually makes me feel better about it. Now, I do need to include this stuff in the photos, but, and that'll be part of that. Okay, so very good progress today on day 2 of the week. I'm going to stop here because I have work to do. I have other things going on. Oh, one side note, I found a thing that was all of my ex-husband's diplomas from college. So I'm going to have to give that to my ex sometimes. But I can't believe it was in my stuff somehow. That's what happens when you get divorced, even if you've been divorced for we've been divorced way many years than we were actually married. I still have Find My Ex's stuff. And then I have all the wedding photos. I don't want to get rid of all that. It's people I like. I don't know what to do with that. I don't know. But I'm not deciding about that now. All the photos I'm just going to put in a box. And that will be something to deal with when I make photo albums, which will happen someday. Yeah, so got another migraine today. Is it related to going to 10 by 10? Who knows? Who knows? Because sometimes I get them anyway, right? So I took another super trip down. The migraine didn't come on until like right then. It came on much later in the day. So it could just be unrelated, whatever, I don't know. So tomorrow morning, I'm not going to go to the 10 by 10 first. I'm going to do other stuff first. I actually need to do laundry, and then I'm going to do some other things first. After that, like work stuff that needs to get done. And then the 10 by 10, since I'm doing some specific things, which is really going through and then packing up the stuff that I already sorted, it feels very doable. Also tomorrow, it's going to be a lot cooler. Today, the high is not warm, but I mean, it's 70 degrees. Tomorrow, it's going to be even cooler than that. So I can go there in the afternoon and it won't be hot or anything. So I'm not worried about that. I don't need to go there at, 7 a.m. or whatever. So it's always something, isn't it? I did give notice to the place. I have to be out at the end of the month. So one way or the other, I'm going to be out of there. But I'm making good progress. I actually feel very good about what I've already narrowed down. Now that I actually put it into categories, the volume is actually less than it was. It was just that it was spread out in different boxes that weren't 100% packed up, that I had done at different times. So I'm going to be able to pack it all up. And as I pack it up, I'll go through it kind of naturally, as I'm putting things in boxes, and then I can get rid of some stuff. And the standard is going to be, would this be displayed? Would this go into some kind of binder organizer thing that I'm going to look at? Or is this just something stuck in a box that I do not need to keep? I think the only thing that I think I will be overly inclusive of is I have a few things for my grandmother. I'm not getting rid of any of that. Some of it is just, it is stuff that I'm just like, nope, keeping this. I think, one thing that's kind of funny about this is I'm actually taking a anthropology class, and going through all these papers, it's like, I think the fact that I enjoy anthropology, it's very similar to going through all this kind of stuff, because you really see the minutiae of somebody's life, and it's very interesting, actually. Okay, I have a migraine today. Not too bad right now, but not the best either. However, I did organize my keepsakes. So we got all photos, albums, things, and papers. It's a bit more than I wanted. I just wanted those 2 bins, but huge progress. Huge progress. Now, so what else I need to do? I actually need to go through all this stuff. Set aside things that are professionally framed that I'm going to keep in the frames, and then separate out the frames from photos, put the photos in the photo box. Need to do that. And then after that, it is the electronics pile over here. So what I'm going to do, this is all I'm doing for today, because I'm doing things in very small batches to make it possible for me to do. So I did the things that I was going to do today. And so now what I'm going to do next time is that pile there, which actually won't take me that long. And then I'm going to organize this stuff. Like put things in, like look at stuff and be like, okay, do I have the plugs for these things or not? If I don't, what am I going to do with it? Am I going to try to deal with it or not? I mean, it's becoming more and more likely that I'm not going to deal with any of these things, that I'm just going to put them in electronics recycling. Now, I actually have some hard drives that I'm probably going to keep. And that is kind of the way I'm thinking of approaching this, is the hard drives, the external hard drives I used as backups. So if I keep the external hard drive backups, then I'll have most of the content anyway, and I can look at it later. And I think I have the cords for those things. Oh, I got myself all dirty. No wonder I'm getting migraines. I'm literally kneeling in dust. Hey y'all, so I don't have a migraine today. I actually feel good. Did a really good workout. So we'll be going on a 10 by 10, of course. I mean, I went on even the days I had migraines, but I feel so much more positive. about everything in life when I'm not in pain. I do have a ton of work to do today. I haven't been able to do legal work for like the last 3 days because when I have a migraine, even if the pain is being taken away by meds or something, my brain is still addled. And sometimes I can edit video, but I cannot do legal work at all. I'm not smart enough. My brain is like, it's like thinking through molasses. So tons of emails to go through, tons of legal stuff to do today and tomorrow, and probably over the weekend a little bit too. So where I'm at right now with the 10 by 10 is really making the transition from going through the keepsake stuff, which I'm almost completely done with, just got to do those pictures, to moving over to the electronics. And this is something that I've tried to go through these electronics many times over the last like literally 10 years. Okay. I even brought them back to my apartment, try to go through them in 2 different apartments. Like, I mean, it has been this burden on me for so long. One of the things I have to do before I completely finish out the 10 by 10 is I have to go to my 5 by 10 and make a little bit more space. I don't necessarily have to do it before I move out. So I'm not going to not move the 10 by 10 stuff. So because I haven't done the 5 by 10, I'm out of the 10 by 10 by the end of the month. That doesn't, no compromise on that. However, it would be good for me to go over the 5 by 10 sometime in the next few days before I move the stuff over, to get rid of the 2 coolers, which will create, a whole shelf, right? And then just kind of reorganize some things, make sure that the camping stuff is near the front and that this keepsakey stuff is more near the back. Okay, great. So this is just the ones I'm keeping. Everything else is inside of a box. And then I have empty frames also with some things from my wedding. So now, if you look back at this, this is keep. These are empty. They will be used for organizing. And this is get rid of. And this is my little things to process, which I'm going to look at right now. So last thing to do is to process the electronic stuff. Okay, now, computers. All kinds of cords, some of which may or may not go to these computers. Cameras, Kindles, iPhones, hard drives. So, hard drives I'm not going to do anything about. I'm just going to put them away. Not going to do anything about them. I really think the secret of this for me is doing it in little pieces. Doing it all at once, too overwhelming. I know it's not true for other people. Some people, it's better to do things all at once. But for me, bite-sized pieces makes it possible. So yeah, I didn't get to do the 10 by 10 today because I went to see my son, and so, I'll feel good about that. Part of it was because I just didn't want to I could have gone there for a little while, but then I would have gotten dirty and I didn't want to then go having clean up and all that stuff would have been a big deal. So anyway, some sort of like motorcycle gang going down the street. I don't know. It's always something. So today's Friday. So Saturday and Sunday, I might not actually go to the 10 by 10 both days because I have a lot of work to do, and I'm planning to go to the park and really focus on work and get a whole bunch of stuff done. That's kind of what I want to do. I'm actually thinking about, getting some food so I don't have to leave the park and can just stay there for a good chunk of the day and be really productive. As much as I like being at the library and getting work done, sometimes it's really nice to be at the park. We'll see how busy it is. I'm hoping that since it's cold, it actually won't be that busy, even though it's a Saturday. So that is the hope for the 10 by 10. Thing is, I have to be out of there by Tuesday. And today's Friday. So the electronic stuff will be next, and then it'll be moving the stuff out. Hey y'all. All right, back at the storage unit. This is Saturday. Have to be out of here by Tuesday, which is the end of the month. So today I'm back here. I didn't come yesterday because I was busy going to see my son and stuff. And what I'm going to be working on is matching up the plugs with the devices to see if I can turn them on or not. I'm going to bring up my smaller battery with me because then I can plug things in to see if they work. And if they don't work, then can't do anything about it. If they do work, then I can try to get stuff off of it if I think it is actually feasible to do that. So I'll be making a decision about all the different things as part of that process. Then the other thing that I'm going to be doing either today or tomorrow is I'm getting help moving over the boxes I'm keeping. So our containers. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 boxes / containers to move over to my unit. I was hoping to be more like 4 to 6, but here we are. And one of them is actually just knitting yarn. And so that actually will get consolidated with the stuff I have over there. So that will disappear. But anyways, I don't think I have a full container of knitting yarn. So it's more like I have to I'll squish them all up. But that's the idea, is those 8 boxes, 7, 8 boxes, containers will go over there. Then the only things left here is stuff for me to get rid of. Okay, got all electronics recycling. These are the ones I'm actually going to try. These should turn on. And I should be able to wipe them. These might not, but they're all apples. So I can plug them in and see. Everything else can't be turned on. There's no plugs for it. Doesn't make any sense. This has hard drives and USB drive things and like thumb drives and stuff like that. That's to deal with later. But all the stuff that I'm taking, that will be to deal with later. This is what we're dealing with now. And then this is all going to be garbage, which I can get rid of on, Monday, Tuesday, whatever. Well, I'm thinking this one isn't going to work. Just be quiet. I'm taking a video. So here's all the stuff that I'm keeping. I got the papers, the keepsakes, stuff for my son, and then empty drawers for me to use in the other storage. Hey, all, just a little update on the 10 by 10. I didn't record video because I was with another person who does not consent to being on video. So we got the stuff that I'm keeping. So we're talking about the keepsakes for my son, and one box I had, it's like half full of some hard drives that I'm going to deal with later, and the box that has the knitting stuff. And I think that was it. Yes, that's all the stuff that is in my 5x10. My 5x10 is kind of a little bit not organized right now, but it'll be fine. There's a bunch of things in there I'm going to get rid of. I'll deal with that in a future video another time. In my 10x10, what is left? Because I have 2 more days. Today is Sunday. I have Monday and Tuesday during business hours. So I have stuff to donate. I have about 1 box of things to donate. I have multiple boxes and things to take to electronics recycling. I have some stuff to throw away and a couple little things to take over to the 5x10 that I can do myself. Pictures, like artwork that's actually framed, and some of my diplomas that are actually framed, and a couple other small things. It's not a big deal. I will take those over myself later. So that means that Monday and Tuesday, and I'm going to actually write this in my calendar right now. That's why my planner right now. That's why I'm talking about it this second, is that I'm going to set aside time on Monday and Tuesday to do those things. I might get it all done on Monday, but we'll see how it is. I can't actually take stuff in to donate or recycle until 10 a.m. because that's when the place opens. So can't do that super early in the morning. I could go get it and put it in the car, but I couldn't actually take it in. But yeah, so really good progress. I'm very happy with where I'm at with everything. So yeah, totally doable. The stuff is in my 5x10 and makes it a little bit crowded in there, but I can still actually access things, which is the important thing. So once I get rid of my old coolers, I have 2 old coolers, I have some containers, I have some stuff that I'm just not using and I'm not going to be using. And I kind of had unrealistic ideas of what I was going to use. Once I get rid of that stuff, I'm going to be able to take the things that are kind of piled up on the floor, the keepsakes, and then put them up on shelves. So then there'll be a lot more room in there and it'll be much more of a usable space. I also need to organize in there anyway. Not sure if I'm going to do that before my next trip. I might just go on my next trip and then do all that kind of when I come back from that trip. So today is the second to last day, the storage unit. Thank goodness we got all the heavy stuff out this weekend because the elevator does not work this morning, as of 8 a.m. at least. The office isn't open till 10. So anyway, right now, I mean, the last stuff I can carry down 1 box at a time, but what the frack, And this is not the first time that the elevators were broken, okay? It's happened many times. And this is why my new storage room in the other place is at a different place, and is on the first floor. No elevator to break. Oh my gosh, carrying all that stuff down stuff was a bit much. Especially after it already worked out today. So I have all the stretched in my car. I actually use my window coverings to be underneath and kind of surround it so it won't get any dust on my bedding since it's on my bed. I'm gonna go put it in a dumpster, and then I'm gonna go to the park and work for a while on law firm work. I'll be coming back to this later today because I have a number of other routes. I need to take another load to the 5x10, like just awkward stuff, frames and things. I need to take a load to charity. I need to take a load to electronics recycling, which is the same place, so it'll be all one load, but it actually will be a lot of stuff. And I need to take a load to my significant others because I have a whole bunch of baker's boxes that are good, and I'm gonna break them down and take them. So like, that's totally simple and easy. It'll probably be 2 more trips. 1 trip to my storage room and my significant others because they're right by each other, and then another trip to the charity place / electronics recycling. So very close. Not sure if I'll just go ahead and get it done today or not. It'll depend on how I feel. I am so sniffly. My CPAP had moisture in it last night. So just when it gets condensation in it, and that only happened one other time when it was cold, but that time I didn't have my windows rolled down enough. This time I totally did. There wasn't condensation on the windows, but it was in my CPAP. So I don't know. It was cold, but it wasn't colder than the CPAP, like 40 whatever degrees. So I don't know. I was just so much condensation inside my sinuses, and I am having troubles today. I'm having troubles with that. It's like I have allergies is what it feels like. I don't know what I'm allergic to. It's November almost. I mean, it's still October, but it's so close to November. It's cold. I shouldn't have anything I'm allergic to except for inside stuff. And I think is I wasn't every time I've gone into the 10x10, I've been wearing my mask. So I don't think it's the dust, the 10x10. There you go. Completely empty. And we're having to carry all this stuff down these stairs because the elevator doesn't work. I feel terrible today, so my significant other helped me with this, which is I'm very, very thankful of to be done. This is the last couple things, and then I'm done taking it into my significant other's car. So here's the last of, okay, now that the train maybe has passed, here's all the stuff completely out of the storage unit. This is all going to electronics recycling and what have you. There's a few pictures and stuff up there that I'm keeping, but everything else is gonna be gone. Last time we're pushing these numbers. Yay! Bye-bye. Hey all, so I am out of the storage unit. I'm out of the 10x10, done with it. Some of the stuff is still my significant other's car, and we'll deal with that tomorrow, whatever, which is totally fine. But for right now, I do not have to deal with that storage unit. I think I've been in there 15 or 20 years. I don't know. It's a really long time. That was a whole lot of money. And there's a number of reasons I'm really glad to get out of it. One, obviously, to get rid of that stuff is just a burden, to save a bunch of money. But also now I actually found the things that I actually want, you know? My pictures from when I went to space camp, my pen pal letters when I was a kid, all kinds of keepsakes and things. I actually know where it is, you know? So I'm really glad to have gone through all that stuff, because now it actually are things I can actually refer to and use and make into photo albums or whatever I'm going to do. So it isn't really real yet. Since we did it tonight, I really don't feel good because my sinuses are so inflamed or something because my CPAP filled with condensation last night, and then it gets this all this water up in your sinuses. It sucks so bad. And it's been bothering me all day. I'm going to take a Benadryl tonight once I get to my parking spot. I'm not going to use my CPAP tonight because I can't have the air going up in there. I need to have a day to heal. So I'm just going to prop myself up hopefully I get a night's sleep. But that was what, the worry was, is that tomorrow technically is my last day in the storage unit and I might sleep terribly tonight. So hopefully not, but it doesn't matter as far as the storage unit goes because I am out. So that is the thing that I'm taking away from all this. I never want to have to call a junk hauler again. I never want to burden myself with that much stuff again. The stuff I have in my current storage unit, I actually am going to go through my 5x10 again. I use it as a closet. So I mean, a lot of the stuff in there, I literally actively use. But there's stuff that, now that the stuff is all in one place, I can see it all. There's stuff in there that I can get rid of for sure. I have some coolers that I'm never going to use. I have, and there's a reason, which I will talk about in an upcoming video. Exciting. Anyway, and there's stuff that I kept that I realize I'm not going to be using, and also all my camping stuff is kind of just a bit of a mess. So I need to reorganize it all. I have those big plastic drawers that I brought with me and I can put stuff in those things. So there's a lot of organization that can happen in there, some stuff that I'm going to be getting rid of. So I'll be able to use all that space much better. But yeah, I'm so glad to get rid of that burden. All right, I'm going to start getting ready for bed. Talk to you later. Also, I parked in a parking lot where there's literally no cars, and then someone parks right over there. And I'm just like, dude, you're creepy. Hey y'all. So I feel so much better today. Just got the email from the old storage unit from the 10x10 confirming that the unit was empty and had no lock on it. And so they'll send me the official move out notice or whatever it is today. So yay, I'm done. And I also feel a lot better today, which is just good. Wasn't able to use my CPAP last night, but I propped up a whole bunch of pillows and slept at a big big angle, and was able to actually get some half decent sleep. And don't feel like I have horrible sunburn inside my sinuses like I was before. So I'm actually gonna be able to work today, which is great. The last bits of stuff is in somebody else's car, so I will be getting that out probably today and putting it in my storage. The little bit of it goes to my storage. Most of it actually is going to go to the charity place / recycling. But yeah, so huge progress. I'm very proud of myself. Yay. Now just down to one storage unit, and I'll actually be keeping this because I use it as my closet. So last set of stuff to go into the storage unit. Okay, so here's my 5x10. Obviously work needs to be done to organize this, but I can get at most of the stuff that's in the front, which is the stuff that I actually use on a regular basis. I am going to be getting rid of a bunch of things in here. There's all kinds of stuff that I realize I really don't use, and there are literally organizers and containers in there that are empty. Stuff is not organized well, but it is all in the same place, which is what is important. So yeah, I'm very glad. I'm not going to really be worrying about working on this right now. I can do it when I can do it. I have a lot of backlog of work to do, and that's what I'm going to be focused on for now. I hope to go on a trip sometime soon. It will just be in California though, so I won't be super far away, because I don't want to be super far away when holidays come, so I can see, people for holidays that are living around here. So that's the idea. Very good progress. So again, this is Elizabeth Off Grid. If you would like to say hi, leave a comment below. Thumbs up if you found this video in any way helpful or entertaining or interesting, and subscribe if you want to follow along. Bye-bye.